Good afternoon and welcome to Padre's Ponderings.
Hello, hello, hello.
The bell just tolled.
And it is a beautiful day in the low country, or true.
It is. Pollen seems to be a little bit less.
Rains are knocking that pollen out of there, and cars don't have the yellow tint anymore. And the last big rain we had took it was on there, and then it came off, and you had streaks of yellow through the parking lots, and all that's gone now. And moving on. The live oaks are putting on new leaves.
Your fig tree?
Fig tree.
That's amazing to watch.
That fig tree is just something. Just like all
looks
of a sudden.
dead.
Yep. And your mom was battling the squirrels there. She's got the Vaseline. She puts that on the pole so they can't get up there. They struggle and they make it work. And the Vaseline, and then there's some kind of oil she puts on it. WD-40. It's her and the squirrels. It's kind of what was that movie where the guy was chasing?
That was Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. The groundhogs who's blowing up the golf course.
That's Becky and Padre's house.
That's exactly right. It's her and those squirrels. She's gone.
Bill Murray.
Bill. I didn't know who was in that, but I remember them blowing up the golf course. So what you got going there?
Okay, so going back to last week's Ponderings with you and Elizabeth, you had a conversation about, she said you might need to step it up for Becky's birthday because it was a milestone birthday, I guess you could say.
Big 7-0, yep.
So I was able to report today to Elizabeth, he stepped it up.
Yeah, your mama asked me this morning, right there, we're having breakfast, and here's the big bouquet of red roses, and vase of red roses right there. And she said, I just want to know, how did you pay for those?
Stop it.
Seriously. And
you have a credit card?
I know. She said, I looked on the credit cards, and I didn't see a charge on there. And I said, I was planning ahead. I was sticking aside a little money here and there, long. I was planning. But you caught me off guard because I was just planning to get the flowers and bring them home. And then you had your friends asked you to lunch, and so I had to alter my plan just a little bit there, but I had the money squirreled away.
I thought that extra little touch of knowing where she was going to be at lunch and going to that location and surprising her at lunch, that was sweet.
I think it did surprise her. Yep. And then she showed me pictures. Some of the ladies took some pictures, and everything now, that picture goes on Facebook or, all over. And so she's getting...
There was a really good one of the two of you.
So she's getting comments back from buddies from all around, And she told me this morning that one of them said that we looked real young. No, that we look real good for our age. For our age. It's all those vitamins. There you go. I see they're advertised on there, the green and the red vegetables.
Right, the vitamins, the gummies.
Yeah.
Gummy vitamins. Y'all been doing that for eons.
Oh, yeah.
Way before it was hip.
Yeah, we got more things than they can think about having in those pills. We got them concentrated for them, may I say.
And I heard that Bishop Lawrence actually gave you a new nickname.
Yeah.
At convention.
The ageless wonder.
I would have loved it to have seen that, your face.
No, you wouldn't.
Maybe Alex has it recorded somewhere from convention.
That's, I think it was a slip, I'm sure.
Well, didn't he go through who all is retiring?
And that,
And then...
And see, that's the thing, the fellow's just 65, see ya.
You're like, man, you were just getting going.
70, you just don't see them around anymore. It's like a bridge hand. We used to play bridge, and if you got a bridge hand that had all four aces and no other cards, no other face cards, that was called aces and spaces. And that's 16 points. That's a lot. You got to bid something, but you only got four aces. You got nothing else to work with. So I'm looking around that room out there, all those clergy people in there. And I said, there's a few of us aces left, but it's a big gap. It's a big space between the rest of them in there. And they seem to be getting younger. I don't know what all that's about, but they are. So it's a lot of fellows, Nathan's age, and
Yeah, coming out of
Josh's
seminary
age,
and
yeah. And then you got folks Jonathan's age who have had another career and then got through with that and then decided to go into ministry. So you got folks
Which is
in
what
their
you did.
50s and 60s, 50s, not many in 60s. So, yep, very good. But yeah, I had a good visit with Elizabeth last time. She's a special young lady.
she's very special.
Now she had a notebook page.
She
had,
planned ahead.
and it had highlighters on it and all this kind of stuff in there.
She's probably watching right now. She said, I can do it, but it's not my area of giftedness.
Well, she just rolled right through it.
I know.
Really did.
She did. She does
She's
a great
gifted
job.
she's gifted in
Oh
so
my
many
gosh,
things.
yeah.
Really, so many
She's a
things.
treasure. If you don't know Elizabeth, you need to get to know Elizabeth, that's for sure.
So what do you got in your hand today?
Oh, we have got tomorrow night, What is the Gospel with Pastor Jonathan here at the chapel, 2 Wednesday nights, and then it'll be Holy Week.
No, it's here at the chapel.
Here at the chapel and streamed.
And streamed, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you can join that. He's been really looking forward to this and has talked
And then
about
the
it a
first
lot.
3 were about the God of Wonders, and those are on the website.
Those are all archived on the media page on the website. You can go back and rewatch those. Those were really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep, Jonathan's a good teacher.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got Holy Week. So last Saturday, I went to Beaufort, made a special trip to Beaufort to pick up the cards for Holy Week and Easter. So it's got all of our services. It's double-sided because there's so much going on that week.
Are we passing those out?
These are at the narthex at every location, Connect Desk at Cross Point, and we got 1,500 cards. So the goal is grab one for yourself and grab a couple to pass out and invite people.
We're going to have those, just be intentional about handing those out as people
Very
leave the
much,
services.
very much so. And here's what I would do.
What would you do?
I would circle the one you're going to actually be attending. You can't attend to all the Easter service. Well, you can't either.
Nope.
In the past, you could attend all of them if you wanted to.
We got, what,
We've
7?
got 5:28 Saturday, 6 a.m. sunrise service, 8 a.m., 10 a.m. Those are on the historic campus. We have 9 o'clock right here in person and streamed. We have a 9 o'clock special service, adding the 9 o'clock for Easter only right now, and 10:30 at Cross Point. But I would, if you're going to invite somebody, circle the one or let them know which one you're going to be attending, and then meet them at the front
Right.
door or narthex or lobby at the school and sit with them.
Yeah.
I think
That's better.
that's a really big hurdle sometimes for somebody who's brand new,
Right.
is, going in by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's intimidating.
And let's remember, please, that the 5:28 service on the historic campus, the 8 on the historic campus, the 10 on the historic campus, and the 9 o'clock chapel services will all be the same service, same music, different preachers, but same service with brass and special music, and it'll be glorious, But so whichever service you want to go to, it's going to be the same service. So 10 o'clock on the historic campus is normally swamped on Easter Sunday. Come here or come on Saturday, something like that, and help
Spread it out.
spread it out. Parking's getting real tough over there. So, but all of them will be there. And Jody and Billy and all those have done a great job in planning for the music, and then the 6 o'clock service, Howard and the Gracetown folks will be there for that. I'll be there at that too. That'll be great.
6 o'clock sunrise.
6 o'clock sunrise. And usually in the past the sun's been coming up about 6:30, something like that. So it's kind of dark to start out with. We have candles. Everybody's
Yes,
holding
we do.
candles. And then the sun just kind of comes up behind that cross. We got to remember to get the cross over there,
That's Dan.
Dan, for the cross and the altar.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be really good. But Palm Sunday starts
Holy
not
Week.
this Sunday, but the next week.
The 10th.
So you see all the colors will change. Right now it's purple. It'll be red then for Holy Week. Until Good Friday, everything's black.
Right.
And then we go to white. We'll go
Which means that Roger Abney is doing this all
from
week.
down, yep.
Strapping on the
Up and
bike helmet
down.
and the harness.
Right.
Yeah.
And Stephanie's working all the lilies, and all the
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
will be there for that. And
Yeah.
all the windows will be open on this story campus. You kind of move from this darkness to real bright and zippy, and white vestments instead of black vestments. Yeah.
Well, will you share with us a little bit about the foot washing service? Some people might not be familiar with a Maundy Thursday service.
Well, on
That's
the
at
Monday, Thursday
7
service,
o'clock on
you're
the
working
historic
out of the
campus.
Gospels, the Last Supper. Jesus inaugurates communion at that. That's the first one of those. But the other thing he does, he washes his disciples' feet. And so at that service, we do a foot washing service, invite people to come forward if they'd like. The vestry comes forward, I wash the vestry people's feet, and then they, in turn, wash the feet of the people from the congregation who want to come forward. And they'll be set up on the historic campus right across the front, and there are basins there, and they'll just pour a little bit of water over your feet and towel it off.
Is there a
and go
prayer or
down.
anything that goes with that?
Oh yeah, there's liturgy and all that goes with that. Yeah, it's a real special service. But you can come to the service and not have your feet washed, because we're going to have communion at that as well. And I think that Nathan's doing the
Message.
it's not a full sermon. It's like a homily, 10 minutes or so, because the service is more about the foot washing and about the Lord's Supper.
And also at the end of the service, explain what we do with the altar.
At the end of the service, everybody kneels down and we do Psalm 51.
David's Psalm.
And while Psalm 51 is being said, then I strip the altar, and all the lights go down, and then we sing. So you end up with the cross. Everything's gone on the altar, everything. And then I'll change the drape on the cross from red to black, and then we all kneel and sing the old rugged cross. And then you go in, then you can stay and pray, but there's no recession or anything like that. You go and you leave in silence. And Holy Week starts that way too. With Palm Sunday, at the end of the Palm Sunday service, there's no recessional music. You leave quietly, stay there and pray. Because a lot of people won't come to every service during the week. They'll be there on Palm Sunday and they'll come back again on Easter. So it's a chance to begin the week.
All right, so Palm Sunday.
It used to be it's called Palm Sunday or Passion Sunday now. It used to be called just Palm Sunday. But the understanding was everybody was going to church every day during the week. But when they cut that out, when people quit doing that, then you smash back the readings, and so you have two gospels that day. The first gospel is done before the processional, and that's about the palms. And then the next gospel is about the crucifixion. So you put smashing Holy Week and all that into Palm Sunday, and then for the folks who don't come every day.
But those who want to come to a service every
there's
day,
something
we
every day.
certainly have the opportunity.
Amen.
So Monday at noon, outside on the bluff, there is a communion service. You usually do that. You'll be doing that again this year with a little bit of a homily.
Yeah.
Have we ever had rain? Have you ever had to cancel because of rain or move it inside because of rain?
It's always worked out, and it's really pretty. Usually have a nice breeze there, and it's just real special. We do it right there by the columbarium, and you're looking out over the river.
Last year, and the year before actually, because that area is so busy now with the park, we always have people just join in who just happen to be visiting the area right there that day. Tuesday, quiet day for the Daughters of the Holy, sponsored by the Daughters of the Holy, or hosted by the Daughters of the Holy Cross. That's a wonderful opportunity for men and women to come together. Wendy Lawrence is going to be our guest speaker that day. So she'll speak for a little bit, and then you go off onto the campus and have some quiet time, and then come back. And Jonathan's going to be leading communion for that. And there's also an opportunity to purchase a box lunch. But it's open to everyone. The daughters are helping with it and hosting it, but it's open to everybody. So that's a great opportunity. I got an email this morning about somebody that's encouraging everybody in their Bible studies to go. Just a really great opportunity to be still.
Is that one that you have to sign up ahead of time?
You do need to sign up if you want lunch. You need to sign up by April the 7th. And there's a link on here how to do that. And just for catering purposes on knowing
But if you don't want lunch,
what
then
to
it's,
get.
then it's
You
okay.
can bring your own lunch, or you can leave after the service
Yeah.
and not stay for the fellowship lunch part. Wednesday, we have an evening prayer service and communion. The Stephen Ministry team is going to be helping with that, with the prayer and serving during the service. We haven't had a prayer service in a while, so since before COVID, really.
That's right.
So that'll be a great opportunity to come together and come forward for prayer if you're in need of prayer. But it's also a communion service as well. I've already seen the music that Pastor Josh will be doing that he's selected for that, and it'll be a really nice service. There's something, too, about an evening service on that campus.
Mm-hmm. It's just
It's a different
it's
feel.
quiet. And
It's quiet, and the old building. And
the old building, it just lends itself to meditation kinds of things.
it does. And then the Maundy Thursday service, which you just talked about, and then Good Friday. There's a noon service at the historic campus, which is the traditional Stations of the Cross. And then there's a 7 p.m. Special Stations of the Cross service here that'll be in person and streamed. And when you go around to the stations that stay up on this campus all year, and then there'll be dramatic readings and connected with the Passion
that's a wonderful
movie.
service. I like that service a lot. Mm-hmm. Now you got this Friday, you got something happening too. No, this Thursday. The long postponed oyster roast
Oh, and
is this
gosh,
Thursday.
it is this Thursday, but guess what? The weather is supposed to be horrific.
Oh, me.
So they are having it, but they're moving it to the Mission Mall.
What?
Yeah. The wonderful team at the Bluffton Oyster Factory has agreed to cook the oysters, to steam or to prepare them and everything over at the Mission Mall underneath that back deck. And then we can eat and shuck and all that inside. So they are not, Pastor Josh is like, we are not postponing this again. We will just move the location. So it will not be outside. 90% chance of thunderstorms.
Whoa.
I told him, well, maybe
least we
you
got
shouldn't have
options.
said.
It's got options and spaces. So. But now that is something people need, as for men, right?
It is, and an email's going to be going out to the men in just a little bit to let them know if you're going to be attending.
You need
This
to
is
sign
the
up.
5th time or so that you've signed up, but we still need to know numbers.
And there's a cost for that.
There
I thought it was for free,
is-
and Josh
well,
corrected me.
there
Sunday.
it is a cost. We're not asking for everyone to pay, but if you feel led to have to donate, then that would be helpful.
Okay.
Seafood cost.
Oysters cost a lot.
Oysters cost.
I want to say that this is going to cost right at $30 a person.
It's close to $30 a person when you break it down.
I told people at the 8 o'clock service it was free, and Josh said, no.
It's not free, but
Donations
if someone
requ-
cannot pay, please still come.
That's right. That's right.
If you can, then your generosity is appreciated.
That's right. If you want to pay for somebody else too, you could do that.
That would be nice.
Yep. But lots of activities, that's a great thing. That's a great thing. So that's Thursday night.
Thursday night,
Previously been on
March
Friday nights.
31st, at the Mission Mall, which is the God's Goods complex, if you aren't familiar with the Mission Mall term. It's the space where the food bank runs every
Rain
week.
or shine.
Rain or shine, because we're inside this time. We're taking out that variable. You know,
Rain
spring is hard in our area for weather. It's hard. So
Yep, and I saw all the news earlier this morning, big snowstorms in the Northeast. And right behind that, 2 or 3 days later, is another big storm moving through the Midwest. March comes no.
in like a lion and out like a lamb.
Is it March that does that, or April that does
March.
that? March.
Yeah, April showers bring May flowers.
Okay, so we're gonna have a.
Those are those preschool little terms you always
So we're
use.
gonna have instead of April
gonna have
showers, we're having thunderstorm to kick it off.
Yeah. Well, it's ending like a lion. The last day of March is
Yeah.
thunderstorms. So
That's that groundhog thing. Got that all balled up. So have you heard any more about it? Are they going to have the daylight saving time year-round, or did that die in committee?
I don't know. You'd think that would be one thing everybody, Congress could agree on, but I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard the progression. At the same time, you think, aren't there other things we should be thinking about right now?
Perhaps.
Maybe that's an easy win.
Perhaps. But I heard about it, and then it
All right, and then
it
you don't hear
disappeared.
anything else because our attention spans are like a gnat.
Amen.
So I don't know, but I did see a map that kind of showed if they do go through with it, in some places the sun won't come up till like 8:30.
Really?
I don't know about that.
Well, then is it going to stay? It'll stay up till late too, won't it? Have to. Whoa. You know, how you reckon they did back in the time of Jesus without daylight saving time?
You
and all
just
that
got
kind of
up when the
stuff?
sun came. Like the sun was your alarm
That's it. That's exactly what happened, see? Unless you were a soldier on duty or something like that. Yeah, you just got out when the sun came up.
because that was your light.
But the people in the Exodus, they did
Pillar.
the pillar when the God turned out the lights, it was time to get up
And move.
and move. Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're moving. Been doing a lot of reading on that.
I
Taking
know.
over
What
the
are
teaching
you
on
going to
that.
teach on Moses?
I believe so. They're trying to come at a different angle on it. I think maybe I'm going to pick out 4 Wednesday nights. I think I'm going to pick out 4 events or something like that.
Because that's a lot of material.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to hit 4 things to focus on. But I'm still working on that. I've read 4 books now on that. There's a lot out there about Moses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
A lot. Yep. And remember Josh said that Paul was aside from Jesus, the preeminent figure. Moses is that in the Old Testament times. And then for the Hebrew people, he's the man. He's the man. To this day, he's the man. Yep.
Well, that'll be good. So you think in May?
The,
Said 4 Wednesdays.
it'll start in April. Easter is on the 17th. We're hoping that Josh's ordination is sometime during Nathan's, but we haven't got a confirmation on that. But anyway, we'll skip the week right after Easter, and then I'll start the next Wednesday. So it'd be like maybe 1 Wednesday in April, and then 3 in May. 4 Wednesday nights.
Okay.
And then I've got to schedule, Nathan will be teaching during the summertime for 4. We're going to got it set up. So, yep. And interviewed a nice fellow this past weekend.
We did.
AV person to be with us full time. So much technology stuff.
I know. So that we're to the point where you need a full-time technology person. That's exciting.
It really is. And you know, we do a lot with technology, but there's a lot more we could be doing, I think.
Right.
And technology changes so much. Somebody's got to be on the upgrading and all of that. It's amazing, just amazing. But each time there's an upgrade, you know, there are more possibilities that you can work with. You know, like your mama just got her phone upgraded, and it's got all kind of magic stuff on there, you know, that her other one didn't have. And she says, I need to get mine upgraded now. I don't think so. You know, I don't use everything that's on there.
Right.
I don't think anybody could use everything that's on
No,
the
none
iPhone.
of us tap into everything that's available in your hand right there.
Yeah. And Sissy still gets by with the flip phone. You know,
She got a new one, though.
she got a new flip phone. But, you know, that's wonderful. Did you do she does that Wordle? Did you do the Wordle today?
I did the Wordle today.
She got it 3 times. Third try, she got it. Did y'all text back and forth? They got it on 2 or 3 or whatever it is like that.
We have a little competition going. Not gonna lie, she smoked me last week a couple of times. She got it in 2. I'm like, how do you get it in 2? I've gotten it in 2 like once or twice.
The key is
not
that first word.
consistently.
Is that first
The key is the
word.
first word.
So, yeah, she did good. She's
And I'm a creature of habit, so I use the same word every day. I'm just waiting on that to be the word. That's just how
Your
I am.
mama uses a different word
She
every
uses
day.
a different one. I can't do it. I've typed in a different one, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm just a creature of habit.
And is it, how do you spell Wordle? That's the name of it.
Word, L-E.
Word, L-E, okay, Wordle. Yeah, she likes that. You know, I get up, go in there, get a cup of coffee, and she's sitting there with it, working on it, first thing in the morning. Well, the first thing she does is work on her Bible study. Deuteronomy.
We just finished. If she's doing Bible recap,
she's in Joshua.
Today was the last day in Joshua.
Yeah, she's been in Joshua.
Now we're going to Judges.
Slogging it out.
Man,
now. Joshua reads
that
like
backsliding.
a story. But,
Yeah.
in the ditch and out of the ditch, in the ditch and out of the ditch.
Yeah. We did a Bible study through Judges when we were doing the Old Testament, some of the women. And you know, sometimes you just kind of high-speed pass through stuff, but when you really look at it, it's, man.
Yeah.
But we are no different.
No, we're not.
We are no different, so
And
no pointing fingers.
The people in Judges are the descendants of the people that were in and out of the ditch in the wilderness, you know, making the golden calf and all that. They're descendants of the folks in Noah's time and Adam and Eve. It's all right there. You know, we don't, what is that? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, nothing new under the sun.
We got our eyes on the apple all the time.
We are still struggling with the same stuff.
Yep.
But
Same thing. So your children all good?
all good. All good.
Got a birthday today? Did you know that?
Yes, I did. I did not need the parental reminder this morning. I got one, but I did not need it. Yes, your youngest grandchild is 17 today.
And the oldest grandchild graduates from college.
Graduates from college next month. So it's
Life moves on quickly,
truly,
doesn't it?
really, yeah.
Quickly. It is amazing to me. Where does it all go?
17 though.
Charlie was a little teeny fellow. He's a big boy now, though. He must be 6'2" or 3". He's
I don't
grown a
know.
lot.
Well, we haven't seen him in a while, so I'm looking forward to them coming at Easter.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Your mom was already planning menus and stuff.
I'm sure.
Yep. Got to do that.
And we are thankful she does.
Amen. But that's her
her love
big gift,
language.
you know. She loves to cook for people and for friends or family and all that. But particularly, we haven't seen them since when they were here for a day or two at Christmas.
It's been because some sickness went through, so
yeah, COVID.
it's been a while.
Sure has. But they'll blow in here. We'll be here a couple of days, I think. It'll be wonderful. Looking forward to seeing them. And Chuck called about the tomato plants. So he and your mom are going to be planting some tomato plants
They'll
in the
be
yard.
talking tomato
Yep.
at Easter. Growing up on a farm, it does. I mean, that's just a part of who you are.
Yes, it is.
I did not get I didn't get that gene. I guess I'm
Holy
more
Week.
like you. I don't know. I did not get the
Holy Week is when you plant. That's
The
when you
gift
plant
of
your gardens of Holy Week.
planting, but
Holy
they
Week.
love it.
Remember the big gardens we used to plant?
I know. I remember picking all that
Wow.
stuff.
But yeah, you plant them on Good Friday. And then there's an abundance. Praise God.
Sue and I talk a lot about, she loves flowers and in her yard, and she has a beautiful garden in her yard. And she'll ask me, have you gotten your plants yet? I'm like, no. I forget to water them. So they'll look really good. But then once summer hits, I can't keep up.
Do you have an
You have to
irrigation?
water every day.
Do you have an irrigation thing in your yard?
But not on the porch.
Oh,
And we don't have the line that y'all used to have at Seven Oaks that runs up and around, and we don't have that, and I'm just not willing to invest in it, so.
well, they're dead plants. That's all you can say. That's all you can say. I went by a building the other day, and it had 3 ferns hanging out there, and the lights changed, and I had to stop, and all that. Those things aren't real.
Oh, they're fake ferns?
Yeah, they were fake ferns. Gee.
I tell you what, those ferns that y'all used to have at Seven Oaks, they probably weighed 70 pounds. They were massive.
They were 4 or 5 feet long, the tendrils coming from them.
Oh, gorgeous.
It was perfect in the shade, the trees
It was,
over there.
it was the perfect
and it got
light.
watered every day.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Ferns are really pretty.
Man, that area down there, I went down there on Friday to give a tour for our visitor that was interviewing here. And I don't go down there as much as I used to, just because I'm on this campus so much. And that corner expansion, I don't even know what the project is called, but it's like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden the construction is like almost complete.
Yeah, all of it's 2 stories, isn't it? 2 or 3.
Yeah.
It's like the promenade.
Right, but
right there across from
closer
where Seven
down
Oaks was.
Yeah, to the water.
And there's a lot of buildings in that thing too. And as I understand it, the buildings are around the perimeter, and then the parking is in the middle.
Oh, well, that was clever.
So they're not parking on the street. The parking's in the middle. And there's businesses and stuff downstairs, and then people live.
Apartments.
Yeah, people live above it, just like the promenade over
Right.
there. And I'm not sure if it's 2 stories or 3 stories. Maybe some are 2 and some are 3, but it's big. It's big.
Yeah.
And that's what we needed. There wasn't any traffic in that area, so we
Yeah,
need some.
Blow it out.
We need some more traffic down there. Man.
Yeah, you have to dodge tourists. I mean, people consider Calhoun Street like a sidewalk.
That's right.
So
And I wouldn't doubt that one day they don't
be.
do that kind of stuff, because they're not going to have a choice.
it'll have to be a pedestrian.
And that whole area down to the park, they're going to have to do something. It's just too much activity.
I think it was just last month that I said on Ponderings. I haven't gotten the update for February yet, or for March yet, the number of visitors. It's like 1,700.
Oh, it's more than that.
Just in February. Like it was an off month. So now that it's so beautiful, it'll be interesting to see what the numbers were for tours of the historic campus. So.
No, I bet you it'd be, this time of year, I bet it's 5,000 to 6,000 a month.
Well, we need more docents.
We do need more.
You're right. Seriously, we need more docents.
How are you coming on volunteers for Crosspoint and all that?
We're doing pretty well. We're just kind of really short on the technology, a trained technology person to be able to start the 9 o'clock service. We'll be able to do it on Easter. We're excited about that. So we're waiting on to fill some spots with technology.
And did you get the donuts for the?
Donuts are back, and every week we've had to increase the number that we purchase. Very
Isn't that
popular.
good?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get that from the All Joy Donut?
No, we
where do you get them
couldn't.
from?
They are not staffed enough to be able to meet that demand every weekend. And we'd let them know if that does become something you can do in the future. We'd love to support you, local business. We're Dunkin Donuts,
Where?
the one on 170, the new one.
The old one
The one,
on Parkway?
right, this one's just a little bit better.
Okay.
That's all I'll
You'd
say
think all
about
the
that.
Dunkin' Donuts would be the same, but no. You know,
They're not owned by the same,
Oh, they're
or
not.
they don't have the same management. So,
Yeah, that's the way Krispy Kreme is. It's the same. Sometimes some stores the company owns, and then others other people own.
and that, the closest one, Krispy Kreme to us, is on the other side of Savannah.
You know, when you go
That's
into Charleston on
unfortunate, I
17
know.
South, they got that one over there. It has it.
They actually
hot
moved
now.
it.
What?
It's not there anymore.
Really?
It's a trendy restaurant.
Oh,
I know. Every time I go into Charleston, something's different. The cow is still there, but that Krispy Kreme is not.
oh,
Oh, that used to be such a big deal.
yeah.
When we came back from Charleston, we'd get Krispy Kreme,
And you know
jelly
what?
filled.
Back in the late 40s and early 50s, when Dad would be overseas, we were living with my mother's family in North Charleston on Admiral Drive. Right there where Admiral Drive was a loop that off of Dorchester Road, and where Dorchester Road hit Highway 52, you had the the library was right there. A little branch of the library was there. And then on the other corner over there, they had a big Krispy Kreme in there. I don't know if the Krispy Kreme is there now or not, but that's a long time ago. And it was open 24 hours a day because of Navy Yard people.
Did they have the sign then that said hot now?
I don't remember that. But they made the donuts there, and you always had people. Navy Yard was running 24 hours a day.
Yeah, that would have
You
been
had
popular.
A lot of shift people get off shifts and come by there and get donuts and have a cup of coffee. And I think they serve some other things in there, but that was a big deal, Krispy Kreme. Library was big too. A lot of reading. And then up from there, where Cosgrove Avenue hit Highway 52, is on that corner is where my aunt and uncle lived. My grandmother's sister, so it would be a great aunt, had a big house on that corner right there. And then they sold that house to a golf filling station, and so there's a big filling station on the corner, and they built a house way out in north, way out. It was in the woods then, but Cosgrove, the whole area in there was just changing so that they moved.
That's a massive area
Uncle
now.
Joe and Ome. Yep. Uncle Joe was an organist.
The gentleman that interviewed with us this weekend asked if we use the organ.
Was he an organist?
He has an organ in his living room.
Really?
Yeah. He said, "Now I'm not, really skilled on it, but I can play a
He
little
played
bit."
the organ.
But that's a dying art.
You can't
Not
find
many
them
people
anywhere.
play the big organs anymore, which is unfortunate. It's beautiful.
But he played and the church he played in was St. Peter's Episcopal Church. It was at the corner of Market Street and East Bay. And now it's a restaurant of some kind. But
It is.
yeah, that used to be a little Episcopal church right there. And he was the organist there until they closed it and sold it. Yeah. He had a little organ in his house too. Yeah, St. Peter's Church. Now they still, that restaurant's in
It
there.
really
They
is a
still have the
restaurant.
stained glass windows and all that there. Very sad.
I know, it is. I mean, it's good that they haven't torn these buildings down, but it's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of people that come down to the historic campus think it's a museum.
Yeah.
So they're always
That's
delighted
exactly right.
to find out, oh, you still have services?
And if you travel around overseas and all those big churches, the old churches like that, they're all museums. They're all being supported by the state. They're tourist places. And
Well, this was interesting. I was in San Antonio last week, and we went on the missions tour. So there's 10 miles. We didn't walk it, but you can drive, where you can go and see the different missions. And it's a national. It's run by the government now. They are probably half of them. They still do services, Catholic services in there. So it looks like it's just ruins and relics, and then you walk into this teensy little chapel.
yeah.
And they have the candles lit and the music playing. And one of the missions, they had a parsonage.
Really?
Yes. And so the priest lived there all the time. So all these tourists are constantly going
those-
through his yard.
Those missions are all
But-
really small, though, aren't they?
Tiny, tiny. I bet the one that maybe the size of the upper balcony, the balcony up there.
Yeah, 'cause
But
those,
beautiful,
those
all
congregations would be
stucco
very,
and-
very small.
Wrought iron, but it was fascinating to learn. Wow, they're still having services.
Yeah. So was it interesting to see the different missions?
It really was, and the different sizes of them, and just how the communities were established
Was the Alamo there?
hundreds of years ago. I didn't go to the Alamo. It is under construction, so they have a lot
They
of
built it
fences.
hundreds of years ago. What do you mean?
But they're doing construction around it, so lots of fences and parking issues and that kind of stuff. So, but it is much smaller than it appears.
Oh,
Like in
yeah.
your mind, you think the Alamo is very small.
That's the way it is with with virtually everything of historical significance. It takes on a size that's commensurate with its reputation,
Right.
but is invariably way overblown from the physical reality of it. Very, very much that way. In the Holy Land, everywhere it's that way. That way with people too, you know.
That's true.
That way
That's
with
true.
people too.
We certainly do build people up,
Oh,
but everybody has flaws, and
yep.
so
So what else you got going on?
I got to get to sending out the email to the Men of the Cross about the Bluffton oyster, or the oyster roast on Thursday, and
And they're going to actually
Got some
cook the
meetings
oysters
this
over there at the
afternoon.
mission hall, or steam them, whatever they do with them. Wow, that's great. The tumors down there, that
you gonna pop over for? They have chili too.
I might come for a
Chili.
midget, but I'm not an oyster person.
Neither is Josh.
Not an oyster person.
He told us that one of the services is a texture thing. I get that. It's gritty. It's kind of slimy. What is it? There's a quote, and I can't remember who it's from, but brave was the first person that ate, or something like how brave the first person to eat an oyster was.
No, how hungry the first person
That's true.
Des-
Maybe it was at Jamestown.
Desperate. Yeah, the Indians probably taught the people how to do that, because that would have been a staple there. One of the things that, you know, they say you're not supposed to eat oysters in a month that doesn't have an R in it. Doesn't that make you wonder, should you ever eat them at all? What is different?
It's the water temperature.
I wonder about that stuff, you know. Anyway, it's like you're eating a filter in a sewage plant. That's what you're doing, because that's how they live. You know, just filtering out the bad
Shrimp are
things in the
bottom
water.
feeders too.
Yeah, shrimp, crabs.
So if you read through the law of what they could and could not eat, it actually makes sense when you look at it. Like God was protecting his people.
That's right. That's right.
All right, well, I'm going to scoot. Do you have a parting thought for us?
Holy Week coming up. Holy Week coming up.
You would
Oyster
be
roast.
hard pressed to be able to do everything, but
No,
you
but-
can certainly do some of it.
Yep, it's a time to worship for sure. And Jonathan stuff, time for Bible studies too.
What do you say? You can't do everything, but you can.
You can't do everything, but you ought to do something.
And what are the main? Worship,
Worship, Bible study, prayer,
prayer,
accountability group, and serve others.
and serve.
Yep.
All right. Well, go in peace to love and serve the Lord.
Yeah, I
Thanks
say
be to
you were-
God. Thanks be to God.
You were, I was going to thank you for being here, and just to tell you that your fill-in.
She did a great
Elizabeth did
job.
a
Thank you,
great job.
Elizabeth.
Great job. So, but I'm glad to have you back.
Thanks. All right, now what do you say?
And all that we do here, know that God loves you, and I love you as well. Blessings to you. See you when I see you.
And we matched today, by the way.